I mean, I don't know what the fuck to do, man. I mean, I can't kill you right now. I don't know. I mean, I just have somebody who works with me. I mean, right now. Look, look at you. Fucking scared. I mean, this is what I'm gonna do, man. Just kill you right now. I don't know. I'm fucking pissed off, man. I'm trying to get rid of my fucking money, and I don't like it, pal. You know what I'm saying? No one fucking needs my money, okay? I don't know. Man, I fucking...
I might Kurt Cobain it. The stainless is push to the temple, but I got a pause for the psycho fix execution tricks with a slice of a butcher's knife. Put your life in the hand of the torturous torture pit, mad motherfucking abortionist. Pave the trail with the smell of hell. Evil pictures, wicked scriptures in my brain, cause I raised Cain. Blame the insane thoughts of a Holocaust killer on Louis Cypher and his motherfucking mirror. Mirror, 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 please tell me what you see.
Two shades of a killer, one's you, the other's me.
Mirror, 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 please tell me what you know.
Is anybody killer with a psycho in the polo?
Mirror, 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 please tell me what you see.
Two shades of a killer, one's you, the other's me.
Mirror, 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 please tell me what you know.
Is anybody killer with a psycho in the polo?
Since it's senseless and I'm becoming relentless, my sixth sense senses that repentance is a death sentence. My last breath cushions that inching into depth as I slept past sleep so deep that all I felt was heat. Damnation followed by cremation is what this demon is facing, because murder was my occupation. Life after death is the price for living hell. In the mirror is the cell where all the madness dwell.
I'm looking up in the mirror, dripping toxic waste. Wicked and dope, smoking niggas just like chronic clicks. I don't be thy name, I'm like Cain, not able, but able to leave your brains up on the table. Unstable mannequin and BB killing the paper. Yo, I'm rolling with a dead body in my trunk. Check me out, we bout to make your ass a cadaver, then disappear in the mirror and step up to the glamour.
Mirror, 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 please tell me what you see.
Two shades of a killer, one's you, the other's me.
Mirror, 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 please tell me what you know.
Is anybody killer with a psycho in the polo?
Mirror, 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 please tell me what you see.
Two shades of a killer, one's you, the other's me.
Mirror, 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 please tell me what you know.
Is anybody killer with a psycho in the polo?
portray. I'm putting in work for my hood, doing dirt, it's all good. Putting bodies upon the stretcher so the surgical back up, looking crack his chest. Dope and see what kind of gas, smoke the valley, face, lips blue, bodies overflowing, homicide. Snatched up off this case by the feds. The last high speed chase, I'm left too fat to rally's dead. I'm not the nigga to fuck with, so back the fuck up off me. Bit his nose off, cut his balls off. Bring the autopsy. Bring the autopsy. They stood in the surgery room. They dug one of his eyes about his head with a spoon. Something that these motherfuckers never seen before. And branded on his chest was what the nigga owed. Stomach full of glue, lungs stuck too. Fucked in the game cause he ain't paid dues. Another brutal torture got him 911 in the corner as they sit in the mortuary waiting with the rest of the corners. Bodies on the stretcher, bombing through it, pump behind him. Sickness needle lethal injected up into his mind. I go just like Dr. Giggles to make a circle off in that ass with a blast in the passion to get my gas is what got me off in that gas. The autopsy. Into this game of life and death, trying to make a rep and done lost his name. Cause when the gunshot scared him, the buckshots hit him, put him up in the air 6 feet quickly, ripped off his kidneys. So take heed to these lyrical vocals that I slang and bring forth on the track from the autopsy tank. Death is on a creep for those who supposedly wanna be G like both. So when you see yourself losing everything you love, holding on your wound, coughing up piss and blood, it ain't shit you can do but rest in peace. And the next motherfucker you meet is me, the autopsy, the corner, the bolo mask corner, laying the bloody sheet down from Sacktown to Florida. Fuck with Jeffrey Dahmer, Manson and Michael Myers, psychopathic corner, scraping the pupils off your eyes. The autopsy. Lunatic in this bitch. Y'all don't know. G-Wiz, Mike Mosley, Sam Boston. It's going down. Insane management. Yeah. Kicking the pockets fat.
gonna reason with a psycho? This is a song from a gruesome rapper, written from the blood of the psycho himself. One maniac brother, headhunter, vision of a beast, the priest worst nightmare, brought to life at the midnight hour on the darkest night on earth. A mother gave birth in the surroundings of a hungry animal sector. Some say my father was Hannibal Lecter. Only mom knows the truth about me. Only her soul can set my soul free from the demented mind I carry. I keep getting crazy visions in my head of rappers dead. At age 5, I started threatening lives, using ropes, chains, and even butcher knives. Not a normal kid is what I did for being bored. Playing with tarot cards and Ouija boards. Young psycho growing up straight wicked. You just ask yourself, why do I act like that? Ask my mom, she might know, but she'll tell you how you gonna reason with a psycho. How you gonna reason with a psycho? How you gonna reason with a psycho? How you gonna reason with a psycho? Tell me how in the world you gonna reason with a psycho? How you gonna reason with a psycho? How you gonna reason with a psycho? How you gonna reason with a psycho? Tell me how in the world you gonna reason with a psycho? I'm a serial killer on the loose, yes, and the cops don't know where I'ma strike next. Last house I left was a nice hit. Stabbed the second 30 times with an ice pick. 9/11 looked baffled, between perplexed at the sight of a bloody body that gave me shits. It's a massive style, more you know. And one time can't figure out my MO. Grimbo was a slab with a tag on his feet, on a stretcher covered by a white sheet. I just spotted the next house for the slaughter. Better pray that your daughter ain't at her crib. I just wait and creep with the patience, laying low in her basement. She got caught slipping, taking a bubble bath. Drug her down the stairs, tied her ass up to a wooden chair. Then she knew I was a psychotic lunatic, begging and pleading for a life, didn't help a bit. I came to kill for a thrill, not for your wealth. Before I cut your throat, just ask yourself, how you gonna reason with a psycho? How you gonna reason with a psycho? How you gonna reason with a psycho? Tell me how in the world you gonna reason with a psycho? How you gonna reason with a psycho? How you gonna reason with a psycho? How you gonna reason with a psycho? Tell me how you gonna reason with a psychotic lunatic? Yeah, I'm a maniac psycho. Yeah, I'm a maniac psycho. Yeah, I'm a maniac psycho. Yeah, how you gonna reason with a maniac psycho? June 6th, the 6th month, at 6 p.m., that's when the mayhem will begin. I haven't done a homicide in 12 days. Now I'm riding down the streets of L.A., packing a 10 double M ready to let off. Just itching to blow somebody's head off. People pass, but I'm looking for a bigger score. Oh shit, I spot an open liquor store. Park the car, step in with a big coat. Walk to the back, put my chin to a nigga's throat. Boom, was the sound, the sucker fell down like he forgot he had appointment with the ground. The cashier hit the lumber, got caught. Put my chin to his head and said, what you thought? He saw my piece with bullets unsurmountable. Don't make a move, I put your brains on a counter, fool. Open your mouth. I shoved a pistol down his throat. The sucker just shook like a scared goat. I ain't no mercy given or even felt. Before I blow your motherfucking head off, ask yourself, how you gonna reason with a psycho? How you gonna reason with a psycho? How you gonna reason with a psycho? Tell me how in the world you gonna reason with a psycho? How you gonna reason with a psycho? How you gonna reason with a psycho? How you gonna reason with a psycho? Tell me how in the world you gonna reason with a psycho? Grim Reality's the name of the LP, written by the psycho streaking MD. Insane poetry, bringing you one step closer to the edge of insanity. This is just a smidgen of what the album's like, G. And I'm stalking with the night breed. Never stopping till the suckers is all dead. Two serial rap killers with bald heads. Plus I'm dropping body chopping lyrics for the suckers out there who are rap critics. So let's soak in the madness of the rhyme. But so much scared of that because of the terror tracks. And these lyrics are straight graphic. Plus I'm swinging the mic like it's a hatchet, cutting up the grooves, G. Yo, listening to my lyrics is like watching a horror movie. Terror beyond control, unleashing the fury of 1,000 crazy souls. The morbid mind of a basket case with the word death written on my face. Yo, place my unholy doctrine by the dead and then forgotten suckers lying right under the earth. Mama gave birth to a psycho. Now that you know me, how you gonna reason with a psycho? Psycho, psycho, psycho.